2019 also saw, speaking of criminals, the first criminal convictions for pharmaceutical executives who marketed deadly opioids. Inside a Boston federal courthouse in May, 5 former pharmaceutical execs from Insys Therapeutics were found guilty related to their roles in funneling millions of dollars in bribes and kickbacks to doctors to get them to prescribe more of their fentanyl drug called Subsys, including the people who didn't need it. Attorney General Maura Healey also took the step this year of naming the Sackler family, which owns Purdue Pharma, in a lawsuit she filed over opioid deaths, arguing their deceptive marketing created the crisis, and they should be held, and this is key, personally financially responsible. Purdue is now trying to settle that in several other suits, looking to file for bankruptcy, but Healey and others are fighting the move, noting in the first half of this year at least 53 people in Massachusetts who were at some point prescribed OxyContin, that's the Purdue drug, died of an opioid overdose. And just last week, as you recall, we learned that the Sackler family put more than $10 billion of company money in a trust and overseas holding companies as legal pressures were increasing. Are they overreaching?
Absolutely, they're overreaching.
Why?
Because this is a legal product. This is a legal product, just like gasoline, tobacco, and all these other things that these politically minded attorneys general want to go after so that they can reap financial windfalls for their state and boost their political creds, their political street creds. If we want to prohibit these products, let's prohibit them.
Let me read, if I may, can I just read you first a quote that came out in some pretrial disclosure in the Healey litigation. This is an email that was sent by Dr. Richard Sackler, who was running the company at the time. We have to hammer on the abusers in every way possible. They are the culprits and they are the problem. They are reckless criminals. Doesn't that convert him into somebody that has potential? You can be liable for. They're not being criminally prosecuted. I mean, it shows that despite the warnings he was getting from some of his mid-level executives, he was saying bear down even more strongly.
No, I don't know the context of that. To me, that sounds like he was saying we have to put the blame on the user, not on the company. That's
right?
I don't know if that's
she's
the
wrong because it's one thing, and I understand where she's coming from in terms of this is a legal product, and having had my mother who had a difficult time when she needed certain prescription drugs to control pain, I get angry at some of the changes that made it harder for her. That being said, these people lied. They lied about the marketing. They went after vulnerable people who became addicted and then ultimately died. So there's a difference between where I agree, a legal product, but where I disagree and where they should be held liable is how they lied about what this product was, how they lied about whether it was truly addictive. They lied about that.
Is your point you can't link it to the executives?
You can't prove causation. Now look, if they violated deceptive marketing laws, that's one thing.
There are documents that show they were warned that there was serious abuse going on, and they ignored it and sent out emails like the one I read.
Well, ignoring it is one thing. Lying about it is another, okay? So if you violated state deceptive marketing practices, then yes, you should be held responsible for breaking those laws. But to say that the company created a public nuisance and that they need now to reimburse government for is going way too far.
Is it going way too far? So break the tie.
Listen, you probably can guess where I'm coming. I agree with you in some ways, Jennifer, but I also do think, I don't think that it's going too far. What I would like to see is for these individuals, CEOs, listen, I'm a business professor, I'm also an entrepreneur, I work with a lot of CEOs. The insulation that we provide for executives from the negative effects that their products can have in the market, I think we need to look at. And just like automobiles and cars, if you release a car that you know is causing harm in the community or in the society, you are held responsible for that.
But every auto manufacturer knows,
and then we'll get to you, Jennifer.
Every auto manufacturer knows that if people drive too fast or if they drive drunk, there will be car accidents. Same thing with opioids.
No, but if you design a car where the engine blows up, that's the issue. It's not about that.
If you misuse or overuse the opioids, bad things will happen.
Jennifer, they lied and said they were safe after they knew that they weren't safe.
Yeah, and they worked with doctors.
Opioids are safe for 99.9% of the people for whom they are prescribed. That is a fact.
Say that to the opioid addicts and to the families who are
struggling. Okay, but it's a very small percentage of people
who
become addicted.
Tufts took the name off a building there. Harvard says they're not going to do it. Who's making the right choice?
I don't care if Tufts takes the name off the building, but they should give every penny back to the Sacklers.
Quickly.
I actually agree with that. I think
You?
they should give the money back.
And
To the Sacklers,
Yeah.
I think to the community to help with addiction.
Well,
No, you don't
yeah.
take their money and then take their name off the building.
No, but I think that they can, as she said, give it someplace else so that if they're going to take the name off, they can actually put it someplace.